If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. Sun Tzu. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstones. Peace, mercy, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, the Israelites of the Bible, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And I found this quote from Sun Tzu from his book called The Art of War. And it says, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. When I read this quote of his, it got me thinking of, scriptures. And I know those that were blessed with this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, we will have multiple enemies, not only from these other nations, but our other people. And we know who we are. We know that we are the chosen people of the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai, who the world entity calls Jesus Christ, is gonna come and save his people. So I'm gonna bring out the book of Psalms 83 verse 1. It says, a song of Psalms of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and tumult means noise. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, who are the people of the Heavenly Father. We know those will be the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And how do we know? Because we always go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and read the whole chapter and see the blessings and the curses. And we can see that those blessings and those curses that the Heavenly Father put on the Israelites happens to the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And our people who don't know this truth, they're lost. They don't know that we are the true Israelites of the Bible, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. For they have consulted together with one consent. They have confederate against thee. The Tabernacles of Edom, that will be the Tabernacles of Edom, will be the so-called white man, and the Ishmaelites, the so-called Arabs, Moabs, the so-called Chinese, and the Hagarenes, the Egyptians, Gebal, the Africans, Ammon, so-called Japanese, Amalek, so-called small hats, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot, Selah. So these are our enemies of the Israelites, especially those men who were blessed with this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Not only will we have enemies with these other nations, but our own people, that will be the 2/3 that don't know this truth, they will also be our enemies. And we go to the book of Ezekiel, and we shouldn't fear these other nations or our own people, because even the Heavenly Father told his prophets not to fear them. And we go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 3 verse 8, and it says right here, behold, you know what, I'll start with verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat thou that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. And that roll will be the Bible. And how do we eat it? We eat it by reading it, not only reading it, but also speaking it and believing in it, and also by doing it. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, son of man, cuss thy belly to eat, and fill thy bowls with the roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. And it's sweet in our mouth because we know the truth. And the truth is that we are the chosen people of Yahweh, and that we're going to be ruling in the kingdom, the new heaven, with his son Yahweh Shai in righteousness. And he said unto me, son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel, and speak with my words unto them. So when we go out to the highways and hedges, or when we do our videos, we speak into the house. We speak in the words of the Heavenly Father, and giving warning to the house of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. Not too many people of a strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto thee. And right now, right here, the Heavenly Father is saying that if he would have sent us to other people that speak another language, and we speak to them, they will understand. But our people, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they're so hard-headed and stiff-necked, they will not hear the words of the Heavenly Father. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me, for all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-headed. So, rebellious, stiff-necked. And that's nothing new, because if you read the book of Exodus, even the Heavenly Father told that to Moses, that they're stiff-necked and hard-headed. Behold, I have made thy face strong against their face, and their forehead strong against their foreheads. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not. So we shouldn't fear them, not even fear these other nations or our own people. Neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. So we shouldn't fear people when they look at us or what they say about us. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I should speak unto thee, receive in thy heart, and hear with thy ears. So when we read these words of the Heavenly Father, we hear it, we receive it in our heart, and our heart represents our mind. And go get thee to them of thy captivity unto thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, thus say the Adonai Yahweh, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. So whether they hear us or whether they will not hear us, we still got to go out there and give the warning, sound the trumpet and let them know. Another reason why we shouldn't fear these other nations or our own people is because the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is going to be fighting for us. Like it says in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 3, verse 22. It says right here, ye should not fear them, for the Adonai your Yahweh, he shall fight for you. So the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is of control of everything. He controls everything here, so that's why we shouldn't fear. So like it says in the quote of Sun Tzu, if you know the enemy and know yourselves, you need not fear the results of 100 battles, because it's the Heavenly Father who's trying us. He's putting us in different situations when we're walking in this truth, because he's going to be fighting for us. He's seeing if we are going to have faith and believe in him, and we do. Or even Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he even said it himself, we shouldn't fear man. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 28. It reads, and fear not them which kill the body, which is man. They could kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. They could kill the body, but they cannot kill the soul, because once they kill the body, the soul goes back to the heavens with the Heavenly Father. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. So it's better to fear the Heavenly Father than man, because the Heavenly Father is the one that has control of the body and also our soul. So it's better to fear them. Not only that, but when we fear the Heavenly Father, he's going to send his angels to protect us, like it says in the book of Psalms. Book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 7. It reads, the angel of the Adonai Yahweh encamped round about them that fear him and deliver them. So when we're out in the highways and hedges speaking the truth, or anywhere around, if we fear the Heavenly Father, he has his angel protecting us. And there's different testimonies around the Bible, if you read it, that the Heavenly Father always protects his man, his elect man, his prophets too, and also now his elect man. His elect men are the ones that are predestined, who is going to be protected. And we go also to the book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 51. It says right here, call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time, so shall ye receive great honor and an everlasting name. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation, and it was imputed unto him for righteousness? Joseph in the time of his distress kept the commandments and was made Lord of Egypt. Phinehas, our father in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of the everlasting priesthood. So this is the list of our forefathers, of their acts, and how the stuff they did for the Heavenly Father, and how he, rewarded them and also protected them. Yahweh Shai, for fulfilling the word, was made judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Elias, being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael, by believing, were saved out of the flame. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. So that's why we have to not only fear the Heavenly Father, but trust and believe and have faith that he's going to save us out no matter what. Verse 62, fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he should not be found, because he is returned into his dust, and his thoughts is come to nothing. Wherefore you, my sons, be valiant and show yourselves man in the behalf of the law, for by it shall you obtain glory. So that's why, like it says right here, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. Sun Tzu. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kadash, Shalom.